welcome to my first YouTube channel. So if you guys want to recreate this lovely look, it's gold with a nice bold red lip, please continue watching. Thanks. As you guys can tell, I already have did my eyebrows off camera as well as this eye, so we're going to be focusing on. I'm going to start off by using my Smashbox Full Exposure palette and using the third eyeshadow right there to start off. So a little trick that I like to do is I believe a lot of people, when they go in with a blending, they go straight in and their hand's really close to the brush. I really don't recommend that. The farther your hand is out towards the brush, the more movement you get to the brush, so you're able to blend it a little bit better, versus if you're really in here, you really don't give your wrist, that little extended. So always try to work out inwards. So what we're doing, we're just going to really focus on the crease area just to kind of map out Renaissance palette. My crease is, it is gorgeous. I love this palette so much. It has all these warm colors. It would be perfect for today. And as you can tell, again, I am hitting pan in so many of them, but here it is. So then one color I'm going to go in is going to be Raw Sienna, which is about a shade or two darker than the color that I already have as my crease. So same technique to focus it, everything, more of the product, place it here, and then blend out. Another trick, and the reason why you always want to place your product, wherever you push your product in, that's where you're going to have the most eyeshadow out. So if I start my eyeshadow here, blending here, I'm going to have all the eyeshadow deposited there first, so it's going to look a lot darker than anywhere else. So just keep that in mind. Wherever you place that brush, that's the most product you're going to have. Regardless how much you blend it out, it's wherever you placed it. So you want to go ahead. So I'm placing it at the outer corner and then blending all that product out so you can give a nice fusion. At this point, I picked up the darker shade called Cypress Umber. It's a nice dark brown. So you want to see if you notice I'm picking up with a pencil brush to really define the outer corner, really deposit that product in there, because at the end I'm going to go back with my blending brush and really blend it all out to make sure that we don't have any harsh lines. So you want to continue this process until you reach the desired, how dark you want it to look. At this point, I want to go ahead and pick up some concealer to carve out where I want to put my main pigment shadow. The reason why you want to have that, it's going to be a good base before you put on this shadow here. This one, Marc Jacobs. It's a really beautiful coppery, shimmery color. So adding that base under just really makes the color a lot more vibrant. But of course, you want to make sure that you go ahead and pick up that blending brush to really buff out any harsh lines. The goal here is to make sure that everything is blended very well together. So if you need to pick up some more eyeshadows to achieve that look, feel free. Moving forward, we have the cat liner. So we want to go ahead by stretching out, see how far you want that wing to be, then connecting it to the mid of your eye to see, and from there you just got to fill it in. Now what makes a cat eyeliner absolutely perfect and super sharp is that concealer. So don't forget to go ahead and clean it up and then buff it all out to give that really, really sharp look. Finishing up the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and pick up that dark brown that I used in my crease, Cypress Umber, and go on and run it right there under my lashes to really smudge out to give a smoky effect. Okay. Next stuff that I like to do is go ahead and I'm going to prep my skin. Moisturizer, it's something that I love. Tatcha, sorry. It feels so good on the skin, so you want to go ahead and just blend. As a primer, during the winter, I'm normally a little bit more on the drier side, so I really stay away from any matte foundations or mattifying primers, just because I already know what it does to my skin. I like to really hydrate, so the pore perfecting gel moisturizer is really good, but it helps tighten the pores. But lately my skin has been acting up and I have not been keeping up with my skincare routine as I used to, if you guys haven't noticed. So I am now actually trying out, which has been my favorite primer so far, Sephora. You can go ahead and get a sample there if you guys don't want to commit to an actual primer yet, but so far this has been working out for me really well, and it's the Urban Decay. It's gonna help smoothing and pore perfecting, and it has some argan oil as well, so that is definitely going to hydrate my skin. If you guys are having dry skin during that winter time right now, this is going to be your best friend. So if you want your makeup to last forever on all day, I personally don't believe in touching up. So if I do my makeup one day, that's it. I do not want to touch my face again until it's time to wash it off. That's just how I believe. So I really will not touch. I really focus on making sure that I have a good primer, foundation, setting it, and locking it. Just because I hate being, halfway and then your makeup's completely gone, then it's kind of like a waste of your makeup. So just adding that extra step will definitely help your makeup last a lot longer. So, and then on top of that, this one specifically targets pores, so it makes your pores smaller, so it gives you that nice little little blur, so it's like you're walking around with a little Instagram filter because your skin's nice and perfected. That definitely does help. So if you have large pores, definitely recommend it. I love to use this specific foundation for whenever you're gonna have any photos, like flash photography, weddings, if you're like the bride or you're gonna be part of a wedding or you're just gonna be in a photo shoot, this foundation is really beautiful. And their color range for this brand is amazing. They have different like a whole section of just yellow undertones, which is where I am, and then another whole same colors, which is different section for like your neutrals and your red tones. So it will be very easy to actually find. And I just focus on the areas, like right now, if you guys notice, I did have a pimple here. So what I do is I just, instead of pushing it out, like blending it all out the way I was doing here to make it look all smooth, I actually pack on and I kind of press it in to layer that, like only those areas. So I think that's where a lot of people get it confused, is that when they want to put makeup on, they feel like, oh well, look, I have a pimple here, so they're gonna layer again a whole set of layers. Like that's not the case. So apply really lightly on the areas that your skin's really smooth. You don't need a lot of coverage, so don't put a lot on. But when you have a pimple or you have a certain problem area that you just really want to cover up, just add that makeup just in that section. And I promise you, then kind of buff it out. When you're that press really does help. So when you're pressing into it, and then you kind of roll around it, that'll be it. So press, and that really helps smooth everything out. And then that way you don't look like you're having too much makeup overall. Next is going to be your concealer. I use this Clinique, the Beyond Perfecting Foundation Concealer, which it kind of is because if it's my foundation, it gives a really, really good coverage. And this is my go-to to kind of give more of a natural look. I don't want it too highlighted. I just want a little bit to brighten up in the other eye. So that's what I do. I just pick up my Rose Techniques sponge and just really press that into my skin. I don't like concealers that are too bright under the under eyes. This is where people go like maybe like too light with a really, really bright concealer, and sometimes it just looks really off. And when you take flash photography, it looks super white right here. You only want to go like a couple shades lighter than your original color. You don't want to go too heavy. The most natural way is just a little bit. And then right now you'll notice if I look at it and I feel like, okay, it's not bright enough, I'm not accentuating it as the way I wanted to, then I'll go in with an actual like a little concealer and then kind of go only in the areas that I really need to. Personally, like I like the way it looks right now. This is more than a cream contour palette that they were on sale. Just FYI, go to your local Sephora, Ulta. They were like half off. With I recommend everybody get one. If there's like more colors here, super cheap. So you are gonna touch your cheekbone at the edge of your ear. You'll feel where your cheekbone's at, and when you touch it, that's exactly what you're trying to follow. So right there. I don't like to put a lot, because if you go too much with it, you might run the risk of having too much product, and it's really hard to blend out such a dark color, and then it starts getting really blotchy. I would recommend little by little is the best option. I like to sculpt my cheekbones. It makes you look slimmer. You lose a little bit of pounds off of this, which it doesn't hurt anybody. Around the holidays, everybody gains weight. That's my excuse for everything, but whatever. And then under here, so this is what I like to do. I just bring it right at my jawline. This really does make you look slimmer though. I would never do this before, but ever since I discovered like how slim your face looks, it's like you can't even, you're done. Like you're always gonna do it. So, and then I like to go with my foundation brush and blend it in and blend upwards and really buff that in. You notice I did not put contour around my nose. I don't really like to put any cream contour on my nose because I just feel like it's a little too much. You personally can, depending on your nose shape. If you feel like your nose is too big, you know, you kind of always narrow it down, or you can bring the concealer into literally the sides of your nose, and that also helps slimify your nose. But I like to do anything with the powder. I think powder bronzer for me will be easier. With my golden Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is just, I mean, it's the golden ticket to life. Everyone should have it. I know all these different brands came out with them, and I've tried all of them, but it's still like it's not Laura Mercier. Like she is like the queen of translucent powder. It works for everything. If you want to bake, it works good. It works for all skin tones really nicely. And I also they came out with a darker one, like a tan or a deep, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but where it has a tint to it for if you are more of the darker complexion and you want to bake, you know, you don't have that white cast under it, you definitely could be using them, but they're amazing. Like this is right under my bronzer. The reason I want to do that, it helps chisel any, you know, make that contour look really sharp too. And we put in the areas that you know you also get oily. I always put it above my lip because I always get oily there. I sweat. I don't like sweat, whatever the case may be, but that's like the first thing. I don't sweat anywhere else, but right there, that's just my number one thing. So I always have to make sure that I pack it on really nicely. So while I leave that there, and I bake, you know, ooh, it's coming together. It's coming together. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my Makeup Forever Bronze Fusion. This is a waterproof bronzer. It has a little bit of sheen to it, like kind of like, so it's not technically matte, because like I mentioned before, I don't like to look too matte just because I feel like I have dry skin and I like the overall glowy look. It suits me more. I don't care what season it is, I just like to always look glowy. So here you go. And I start just gonna go over the contour that you just did, you know, really bronze it up. This is where I go all over with the bronzer. Personally, I feel like everybody has a certain makeup product that they probably go too ham on. Like you probably don't. You can really, but you always put a lot. Snatch your nose up and have people think that you got a nose job even though you didn't. I mean, granted, I believe in plastic surgery, but you know, sometimes why pay again like thousands of dollars to get your nose done when you can just do it yourself. So I like to do the sides of it, right there. And then I like to curve it in a little bit, right on top of it, to give more of a button look. And then just make sure you really blend it out though. You don't want harsh cream highlight. And I do a tip on my nose right there to, you know, uplift the nose, and then I get a little up here, right there. And I like very like a good strong highlight, so I'm gonna go in with my Sephora highlight palette. That gold one I overuse if you haven't noticed, but I'm gonna go ahead and mix that one up with the one right above it. Ooh, there you go. Make it. You can never have enough highlight. I'm just kidding. Yes, you can. Don't overdo it, guys.
Finally to the lips. So we're gonna go ahead and line up your lips to make sure that lip Cupid's bow is very defined with the lip liner called Red Cherry. Go ahead and top it off with the Makeup Forever Rouge Artist Intense number 41 creamy lipstick. Usually don't wear the lipsticks, more lip stains, but I just wanted to change it up a bit. So I don't know, I kind of like this color. It looks really good.
Alright guys, so this is the finished look, and I feel like, oh, I match really well with my Christmas tree. Anyways, oh, I said a nip slip. Who has a nip slip on camera? Anyways, so this is the finished look. Like I said, you guys can always do it just like this, but you can tweak it to whatever works for you personally. We can do, like I said, you can always switch back to that nude color.
you know, fine if it kind of tones it down a little bit more. You can also take away the shadow. So honestly, tweak it to whatever makes you most comfortable. But this is the most comfortable look I feel for right now. I think it'd be perfect, like I said, Christmas party, Christmas gift, or if you just want to go out and slay and feel festive. The shit, I don't know. Shit. I'm gonna go to probably like the grocery store looking like this because I mean, that's what we do. If you guys want to recreate it, please tag me, or if you have any more questions, let me know. Thank you once again for watching my first YouTube video. So if you guys do like it, just please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, which I think it's on this corner or this corner, whatever. Just hit that like and subscribe. And if you guys have any ideas for looks that you guys like want me to create for any future videos, please go ahead and put it in the comment box, and I really appreciate it. But I'll see you guys later. Bye.